The first thing you want to do is install a fresh copy of Cyberpunk 2077, boot up the game, walk around, make sure everything works. Everything looks great. Next, we'll go to Google, type in Mod Organizer 2 GitHub. Otherwise, you can click the link in the description. It will take you to the releases page. And once we've done that, we're going to install the latest C++ redistributable that is required for Mod Organizer, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So download and install this like you would any other program. Agree, yes, and once it is finished installing, it will prompt you to restart your computer. Once you've done that, go ahead and come back to the same page you were just on and scroll down until you get to the Mod Organizer 2.5.2 EXE. Save that and go ahead and run that program. Accept the agreement, and this is where you store all the settings for Mod Organizer 2. I like to create my own modding folder under the C drive called modding. So if you click on the C drive and click make new folder and then call it modding, and then maybe create a new folder in that for Mod Organizer 2, you should have some similar structure to C modding MO2. Go ahead and get through the rest of this. It'll take a couple seconds to install. And once it is finished, we can launch Mod Organizer. It might look slightly different for you if you've never modded a game with Mod Organizer 2 before. So find the instance manager, go ahead and create a new instance. I already have a couple games here. Create a portable instance, and this will make it so that all of your mods and settings and everything are in one folder that you can easily move, save, backup, copy, paste, whatever you want to do. Select Cyberpunk 2077 as the game to manage, and this is where we're going to choose where all our mods and files, folders, settings are stored. So this is something that I like to put on my secondary drive just to save some space on my C drive, because the more mods you get, the more it's going to balloon in size. So I have a mods folder, and I'll create a new folder called Cyberpunk 2077 where all of my settings and mods are going to be stored. Select folder and click next. This folder can be really anywhere other than system folders, so you can't have it in program files or things like that. But you should be safe putting it basically anywhere. When you open Cyberpunk in Mod Organizer for the first time, you'll get a couple pop-ups. The first one will ask if you know how to mod the game. The second one will be a category setup. The category setup, go ahead and click Do Nothing. Head back to your browser and check the page that the pop-up took you to. This page will give you a couple different things to update Mod Organizer 2 so that you can make modding a little bit easier down the line. The first thing we want to do is click Cyberpunk Support Plugin 3.0. Once we've done that, it'll take you to a GitHub release page. Scroll down until you get to game.cyberpunk2077.py. Once you download the file, we'll get it installed into Mod Organizer 2. Find the file that you just downloaded. First, you're going to want to copy the new file. Go to your C/modding/Mod Organizer 2 folder. Scroll down to plugins, and then to basic games, and then games. And once you've done that, paste the file. You'll get a prompt to overwrite a file that is currently there. Go ahead and replace the file in the destination. And once you've done that, your Cyberpunk is updated in Mod Organizer 2 to allow you to download your mods much easier. Now we can finally open Mod Organizer 2. Here's a quick overview of how the Mod Organizer is set up. So basically you have your virtual data folder. So this is everything that you would see in the normal Cyberpunk folder in your common folder. You've got all your saves, and the downloads tab is where all of your mods are going to be downloaded. So you'll need to know where that is. Jumping straight into the core mods, head to your favorite search engine, type in CyberEngine Tweaks, and it should take you to the Nexus mods page. You will need to create an account, but it is free. Scroll down until you see files, and we can finally now click Mod Manager Download. I don't have a paid account right now, so I click Slow Download, and it should prompt you to connect your Mod Organizer with the Nexus. Back in Mod Organizer 2, under the Downloads tab, you can see that CET has finished downloading. Mod Organizer 2 works by dragging your mod to the left-hand pane, and the lowest mod on the list will take priority. I've always disabled the Nexus categories, so once you drag CyberEngine Tweaks to the left-hand pane, you'll see that you have 2 mods. The main thing of Mod Organizer 2 is you need to have the mod checked for it to be active. If you uncheck the mod, it will not show up. Next, I'll create a separator by right-clicking anywhere in the white just to keep things a little bit more organized. This one I will call Core Mods. So this is the things that basically have no effect on how the game looks or runs or acts, but are necessary for other mods to run. Now that we have CyberEngine Tweaks clicked and checked on the left-hand pane, we can start Cyberpunk once more. This is how you know things are going well, when you get a prompt to bind a key to open CyberEngine Tweaks. So click bind and click whatever key you want on your keyboard, but this is going to open the CyberEngine Tweak overlay. It allows you access to things like the console, different settings, which there's one I like to actually uncheck or check, which is disable vignetting. So we'll save that. Some logs and debugs, and also a way to reload all the mods you have that are active. Now that the first mod is installed, we can quit the game and head on back to our web browser. The next mod that used to have to be manually installed is Red4ext. Now that we've updated Mod Organizer 2, we can just go into the Files tab, click Mod Manager Download, slow download again, and once you are back in Mod Organizer, just drag and drop that file on the left-hand pane and make sure it is checked. Around this time, you might see that the word overwrite is red at the bottom of your mods. Basically, it's just anything like logs and files that any of your mods generate. So we'll right-click and create a new mod called Generated Files, and that will be somewhere that we can basically just clean up the overwrite section. I don't usually worry too much about this, but if you get annoyed by notifications, this is the way to clear them. And now we can create another separator just to keep this at the bottom of our load order. Back to the browser, let's get a bunch of core mods at once. First, we've got Codeware. All of these are installed the exact same way. Go to the Files tab, go to Mod Manager Download, and make sure that you click Slow Download. Redscript is the next one. Same thing, Files, Mod Manager Download, slow download if you don't have a Pro or Premium account. The next core mod is TweakXL, Files, Mod Manager Download. This one tells us we need Red4ext installed, which we already do have. The next is ArchiveXL, Files, Mod Manager Download, and Download, slow download. Once I hit slow download, they start to download in the mod organizer. The native settings UI is the next mod. Mod Manager Download. This one says we need CyberEngine Tweaks, which we do have. Almost forgot to click slow download. And the last one we'll do for this chunk is the browser extension. Easy as File, Mod Manager Download, and Download. This one has quite a few prerequisites, but we do have them all. So once we click slow download, we will go back and check Mod Organizer to make sure that we've got everything. So now we will be dragging and dropping everything to the left-hand pane once again. The mods are Codeware, Redscript, TweakXL, ArchiveXL, Native Settings UI, and Browser Extension. Load order does matter, but these mods don't overwrite each other, so this should look fine. Next, we can see our overwrite is red, and we have an exclamation point in our top right. All you have to do is right-click the overwrite, move the content to mod, and go ahead and move it to the generated files mod that we created earlier. Doing this just takes the notifications away, but you will have to do it every so often. Boot up Cyberpunk again, we can see that CyberEngine Tweaks is popping up just fine with the hotkey that we chose earlier. I like to get myself all the way into a game just to make sure that nothing is going to crash and everything is installed correctly. You unfortunately don't have many ways to see at this point if things are running correctly, but we will get to it later. The game boots up just fine. everything looks good, no crashes. CyberEngine Tweaks works perfectly, and now we can move on. Back at Nexus Mods, let's get a few mods to streamline the modding process, make things a little bit faster and a little bit easier. First thing we'll do is go ahead and get a mod that skips all the loading screens so that you don't have to wait 30 seconds every time you want to check a mod that you've downloaded. This is downloaded the same way, files, download with mod organizer, and this time we will create yet another separator called QoL, or quality of life, whatever you want to call it is fine. Drag it above file generation and drag fast launch over. This one says it's not valid, but all you really need to do is click the README and it is working fine. Make sure you check fast launch or it will not work. Back at the Nexus, fast travel from anywhere to anywhere just allows you to basically fast travel from anywhere to anywhere easily. I like this if I want to test different locations, make sure that everything is working fine. Download with mod organizer, drag over to the left, make sure it's checked and it is installed. Your overwrite folder has something in it. Move contents to the generated files mod. Now we will check Cyberpunk yet again. And this is a good reason why you want that fast launch, is that every time you launch Cyberpunk, it takes, like I say, much less time. So now the game is starting and we shouldn't see any loading screens. Go straight to press space to continue. We'll hop into our game once more. You can see in CyberEngine Tweaks when I open the hotkey that fast travel is there. And now that we're in the game, all we have to do is open our map. Click on any point of interest or make your own point of interest by right-clicking and then hold that point of interest with your left click. And as you hold, it will transport you to wherever you've clicked. It only works on points of interest or ones that you've made yourself. So you have to find something on the map and then hold left click. Getting in the habit of putting your overwrite files in the generated files mod by right clicking and move the files to the generated files mod. Now after all of this, we can finally tackle getting some car mods installed. Head back to the Nexus and type virtual car dealer. This will be necessary if you want more immersion in your game where you actually want to buy the cars instead of just giving them to yourselves, but you can see all the prerequisites that we have already installed. The next mod we'll do is just the Evo X. I know this one works well. It's a great model. You might as well check it out. Download that. We have all those prerequisites once more. And once that's downloaded, we can jump back into our mod organizer and we will create a new separator called car mods, whatever you want to call it to keep yourself organized, and drag virtual car dealer and the Evo X over underneath. For testing purposes, head back to the car mod page, click description and scroll down until you see the console command and go ahead and copy that whole command. We'll use that in a minute. Now that we have all of these mods installed, we can run the game and make sure our car mods are working. As we boot up the game, you can see that I do not have the Evo installed, so we need to open CyberEngine Tweaks, click the console, and paste the code that we just copied. Once we hit enter and go back to our cars, you can see that it has now been added. If I call it, it appears just like any other car would, and now you can go ahead and drive whatever car you want. Basically, every car mod in the game is installed the exact same way. There are a few that might require some different things, but for those, go ahead and just read the descriptions. Make sure that you read every description of every mod you download to make sure that it doesn't have some kind of prerequisite that you're not aware of. This covers probably 90% of the mods in the game from what I have seen though. So there are just a couple more mods that I consider basically essential. The first is Appearance Mod Menu. We're going to install this just like any other mod. Mod Manager download and download. Need Codeware and CyberEngine Tweaks, and we've got both of those. This is when the Pro account can come in handy because the downloads can be pretty slow on the free account. Gonna create a new separator called Essentials, and we will drag the mod over to the new separator. Make sure to check it, and we'll start the game to see what it does. So back in game, we'll take a very quick look at Appearance Mod menu. You open it or access it by opening Cyber Engine Tweaks with the shortcut you made on your keyboard, and it should pop up automatically. Gives you a list of what's new, but some of the features, you can summon any character you want. Basically every character in the entire game is here. You're able to summon any item in the game, so that could be lights, banners, hot dog stands, whatever. This is also the mod where you can change the weather and also the time of day. You can put things in slow motion if you want. This is a huge mod that I thought was just for people at first, but it's really like a trainer mod for Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto. You can change the outfits. There's a ton more you can do with this mod. That just scratches the surface, but you can play around with it more. And the last mod we're going to talk about in this video is called Ultra Plus. Typical installation, mod manager download. Same thing, drag to the left, make sure the check mark is checked, and it is installed. Ultra Plus is a lighting optimization mod that adds a ton of new lighting features, a ton of new lighting options. There's a lot of other hidden graphic options in here. The path tracing next increases the path tracing in the game, so you get more bounces. I definitely recommend it. Play around with it, see what kind of frame rates you can get. Okay, cool. So we've got a pretty good baseline on the mods in the game. So we have a lighting optimization mod here where we can basically increase the level of fidelity as much as we want. We've got the appearance mod menu that lets you summon anyone from the game, any object, pose them however you want, change the time of day, change the weather, passive mode, God mode. All of that stuff is in here. And our fast travel from anywhere means that we can easily get to anywhere in the map, check out anything that we want to test. And we've got the baseline for our car mods. So any cool cars we want to add, we are able to do. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully this helped you out. If you like these type of videos, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one. Goodbye.